This evening's practice, it's going to be somewhat of a restorative nature. So you probably received in your emails all the props that would be handy for you. I'm sitting on a bolster right now just because I happen to have lots of bolsters, but you might not have one, and that's fine. You could be using a block when you sit, or you could sit on a cushion or folded blankets. I've got a whole bunch of folded blankets here behind me. It would be good if you had about 3 of them accessible for you. Okay, so blankets, Costco beach towels, that kind of stuff is really, really handy. Pillows, cushions that you can find around the house. It'd be nice to have something to cover your eyes for when we're going into relaxation mode in the restorative practices. This is an eye pillow, but you can just fold a small towel if you like. And then I have a strap here as well. If you don't have a yoga strap, a bathrobe belt or a men's tie, something that's not elastic is preferable, okay? Yes, I can see some of you are going to get that. Alors, des coussins, des couvertes, quelque chose pour couvrir les yeux et quelque chose qui ressemble à une courroie, une ceinture d'une robe de chambre, quelque chose comme ça. And I have also here 2 yoga blocks. Again, that would be optional. If you have them, great. If you don't, ne vous inquiétez pas. Vous pouvez toujours utiliser des livres. So I have one lady who comes to restorative yoga and uses old-fashioned telephone books, and they work really, really well. So that's all you'll need as far as props. Thank you, Maggie, for this wonderful opportunity to offer this new creative practice that Heather and I, who actually have never met in person, only on Zoom, have crafted for you. Very, very excited. It's all about relaxation this evening. So it's not about how far can you stretch or how long can you hold a pose or anything like that. Alors, on est ici pour la détente, quelque chose qu'on a tous vraiment besoin dans ce temps-ci. Alors, profitez-en. And Heather, why don't you tell them a little bit?
Okay. Well, I think, first of all, I want to welcome everybody and thank you for being here. And tonight, I think we'll start by just doing a little bit of connecting. This is an exercise that a couple of the people who have been in my class do all the time. It's basically to connect you with your body, which I figured would be a good way to start a yoga routine. And it uses the cheapest, least expensive sound healing instrument that you all have, your voice. And what we do with it is hum. Humming is a particularly strong healing instrument, although a lot of people don't know that. If you hum continuously, you can actually clear your sinuses, and you could actually relax your jaw, and you can actually vibrate infection out of your lungs. So it is a very powerful healing instrument. We just have to use it. And a lot of people, you know, when you're walking around the house during the day, you can hum. You can do it anytime when you're in the car. It's great to hum vowel sounds. Tonight I thought we'd just experience humming by putting your fingers on your cheekbones. And you can hum, you know, like you're muted, so it doesn't matter what you sound like. So hum, taking a breath, and on the out breath, the longest out breath, just hum any note you want and put your fingers here and feel it in your cheekbones. So we'll start. You'll notice that the closer you put your fingers to your nose, the more vibration you'll feel. Now move your fingers down to your jaw, to that big jawbone. Try humming different notes. You'll notice that the low notes vibrate more than the higher notes do. And now move them down to your neck. you notice, keep humming, but you don't forget to breathe. To notice that it's a good workout for your neck muscles as well, because when you hum low, you're using different neck muscles than when you hum high. When you hum low, you can feel it down near your chest, and when you hum high, you can feel it up near the top of your throat. Now put your hands over your heart, cross your hands over your heart. In the chest, you won't be able to feel it as strongly as you do in your head, but you should still feel the vibration there. And so close your eyes and hum on the out breath, and just feel how it just helps you to relax. One more breath. Take a deep breath. Anytime you're stressed, all you have to do is take a deep breath and just hum out a few notes here and there. Another important element of that hum is your breath. So I'm going to hand it back to Jasmine so she can talk to you about pranayama.
So the Sanskrit word for breath practice is pranayama. We're not going to do anything particularly lavish this evening. Just stay exactly as you are. Make sure that you're comfortable where you are, and find a place of stillness. Close your eyes. And just allow yourself to drop down into your seat for a moment as the inhale rises up and helps you feel like you're floating, and the exhale helps you feel like you're dropping down further into your seat. If possible, breathe only through your nostrils and just notice your breath for a moment. Be a witness to it. And then start to slow it down. Alors on ralentit notre respire. And what I'm going to ask you to practice is simply come to a deeper exhalation. Expirez profondément. As you inhale, feel the belly opening up with every breath into the full expanse of your rib cage. And then as you exhale, just let everything completely release and come back out. Letting go of the breath, letting go of stress. The more often that you can come to this deep abdominal breath, the more health benefits you'll reap from it. Bringing yourself into relaxation mode where our body can rest and digest, recover, and heal. Exhale deeply. feel the movement of the breath, not just through the belly and the chest, but also throughout your whole body. And now Heather will take you through a beautiful, even more relaxing body scan.
So in the winter darkness, it's time to warm ourselves with some much needed light. So first, let's set an intention for this evening, because as most of us know, where intention goes, energy flows. So tonight, let's make an intention to let go of all of our worries and woes. So find a comfortable position and close your eyes and allow your hands to fall gently on your knees with your palms up. Take in a deep breath through your nose. Just hold it there for a minute and then exhale deeply and allow your breath to return to normal. Allow it to be just as it is. Now that you're relaxing, I like to think that you're standing under a waterfall. But this waterfall is different. It's special. It doesn't have falling water. It has streams of light. And the streams of light fall from above and pour over your head and down your body until your body is completely doused under the falling drops of golden light. The light falls gently on your head, and then it enters the crown of your head and fills your brain and your head and pours into your eyes. Your eyes shine brighter and brighter from the inside out. And the waterfall of light spreads down into your mouth and over your tongue and down your throat. It spreads into your chest and your lungs. And now it fills your heart full of light. And any negative feelings that you hold in your heart are dissolved by the loving power of this light. The light swirls around your ribs and into your spine. It touches each vertebrae until your spine is a bright, shining cord, sending energy into the nerves throughout your body from head to toe. The light flows into your belly and fills your internal organs. It flows through your pelvis, into your legs and ankles and feet, into the ground. And everywhere the light goes, your muscles relax. You relax. The light washes tension from your body. From the top of your head to the soles of your feet and down out into the ground. And all the troubles and worries and woes that hide in the parts of your body are washed away by that internal light. Let them go. Let them flow away into the ground. And as the warm golden light falls on your head and flows over the outside of your body, it flows over your head and your cheekbones and your jaw, releasing the tension there. It flows over your shoulders, washing away the weight that they carry from the day, and down your arms and your elbows and wrists, to coat your hands and fingers in golden light. The light fall flows over your skin, back and front, surrounding you, holding you in an aura of golden light. You feel warm, calm, protected, and relaxed. Your body is surrounded by a glowing aura. Rays of golden light stream across the aura, feeding its glow. And other colors play across the surface. Like a shield, it protects you from negative thoughts and energy. Allow the waterfall of golden light to re-energize you, to feed your mind and body, your spirit and soul. Absorb the positive energy of this golden light and bask in it until you feel relaxed, at ease, comfortable, and stronger. So strong that you're able to carry this strength with you throughout the evening. So strong that you can perceive your world differently, with love and grace and gratitude. When you consciously listen to sound, it becomes a part of you. When you freely resonate with sound, you enter into the sound and become the sound. And as thoughts arise, notice them and realize they are only thoughts. And when feelings arise, realize they are only feelings. Take note, and when you notice that they lessen in importance, it will become easier to let them go and fade away. And now the time has come for Jasmine to nourish your soul with yoga.
Nice way to begin our practice. Thank you so much, Heather. All right, so gently come out of your seated posture. Just shake out your legs a little bit. And come to lying down on your back. In Shavasana. Alors, couché sur le dos. Les bras de chaque côté du corps, les paumes vers le ciel, palms up towards the ceiling. Just take a moment to arrive and settle here before we begin. I don't want to disrupt the flow of your relaxation and the flow of your breath. So come back to that as soon as you can come to a comfortable spot. And we're going to do a little bit of urban Zen yoga, which is a technique that I learned from Rodney Yee and Colleen Sedman. And it's a technique that they use in New York City in hospitals and hospices to help people who are in beds and not able to move around so much to experience the benefit of slow breath, deep exhalations, and slow, gentle yoga movements. So we're going to begin with our feet. As we inhale, just gently flex your ankles and your feet, bringing the toes closer to you. And then as you exhale, gently point the feet and pull the toes away. Inspirez, le pied flex. Et expirez, le pied pointu. And go ahead and do that a couple more times, very, very slowly, allowing the movement to flow with the flow of the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling, toes up. Exhaling, toes down. Encore 2 fois. Inspirez. Et essayez de faire ces mouvements avec le moins d'efforts musculaires possible. So just let the movement happen because the breath is coaxing it along, not because you're working at it. Everything's very soft and relaxed. And then just let the feet relax and let it be. On va faire la même chose avec les mains. So similar movement with the hands. As you inhale, just curl the fingers in, making a gentle fist. And then as you exhale, lengthen the fingers away and stretch them out a little bit. Et inspirez, on courbe les doigts. Expirez, on allonge et on écarte les doigts. Et essayez encore que ça soit le rythme du respire qui vous inspire dans le rythme de votre mouvement. So go as slowly as you possibly can. Inhale, curl. And exhale, lengthen. Une autre fois. And then exhale and let that be. And relax. On va combiner le mouvement des pieds avec le mouvement des mains avec le rythme du respire. So hands and feet moving with the breath. Flex the feet, curl the fingers as you inhale, and as you exhale, let everything lengthen away. Try to continue breathing only through your nose if possible. Every time you exhale, see if you can just drop down a little bit further into the support of the mat underneath you, letting gravity take over. Inspirez, fléchis. Expirez, allongez. One more time. Inhale, pull everything towards you. And then exhale, let it drift away. Same type of slow rhythm as you inhale. Gently turn your head to one side. And then exhale, come back to the center. On va alterner d'un côté à l'autre. Inhale over to one side. Keep changing from one side to the other. Exhale, come on. Inhale. And exhale. So you don't really need to be watching the screen here. Just keep your ears wide open. Let your eyes close if you're comfortable doing so. And watch and hear your breath. Inhale to the side. Exhale, roll through the center. There's a little massaging effect on the back of the head. Inhale to one side. Exhale, come back. And go ahead and do that one more time each side. And when you've completed that cycle, come back to the center. Imagine that your arms are like seaweed, and as you inhale, just let them rise up. And then exhale, slowly let them drift back down. And you could rise them up towards the ceiling, or if you want to stretch a little bit more, up over your head, as you wish. Exhale, come back down. Imaginez-vous que vos bras sont comme des algues dans la mer, qui se laissent emporter par les vagues et qui flottent en fluidité. And once you finish the next cycle and have your hands back down to your side, just let that be. Notice your breath again. Gently guide one leg in, bending the knee, and gently holding on to the sides of the leg. Pull the leg in gently, and then as you exhale, lengthen that leg and let it drift away. Change sides. Inhale, bring it in. On change d'un côté à l'autre. Encore avec le moins d'effort possible. Inhale, bring it in. And exhale, lengthen. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, lengthen. Just keep going with this. And you might notice that without even putting much effort into it, you just automatically are able to go just a little bit deeper into this beautiful leg stretch with each repetition. Encore une fois chaque côté. And then just let that be for a moment. And now we're going to prepare to do the same quality of movement connected to the breath by bringing the legs in closer, by bending the knees with your heels underneath your knees, if possible, close enough that you can touch your fingertips to your heels. On va faire le pont. Okay? So come into a framework for a bridge pose. Drop down into your feet and into your shins. Drop down into your hands. Palms are down now. Hands are down by your hips. Drop down into your arm bones, into your shoulder blades, and into the back of your head. Gently press the lower back down. Alors, basculez le bassin juste assez pour pousser le bas du dos vers le sol. Et en inspirant, vous allez flotter et monter le torse. Et expirez, redescendez un vertèbre à la fois. Inhale, slightly push the lower back down before you lift. And then let yourself rise up as if your belly was filled with helium. And then slowly release that. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come back down. Inhale, come up. And one more time. And then just allow yourself to settle. And now open your arms wide with the palms up or down, whatever you prefer. I always like to have mine up because it helps me come into an external rotation of the shoulders and opens up the shoulders for better mobility. And from here, you're just going to inhale, let your legs go to one side. If you want, your head can go to the other. And then exhale, come back to the center. So same type of slow flowing movement from one side to the other. Always being aware of the breath. Le mouvement toujours inspiré par le respire. And just keep going through that a couple more times. And then the next time that you find yourself on your first side, roll your whole body over to that side and just stay there for a few breaths. Alors, on est couché sur le côté. And then with as little effort as possible, start to bring yourself up as if you were reluctantly peeling yourself up off the floor, the head being the last thing to come up. And we're going to come into tabletop. On vient à quatre pattes. Les os du bras directement en dessous des épaules et les jambes directement en dessous de la hanche. So remember, when you're in all fours, many of you have been regular students of this practice, but some of you I may not know, so try not to think of being on your hands and knees, but think instead of being on your arms and on your legs. So push up into those strong arm bones, and then instead of being on the knee, be on your shin, on the front of the ankle, into the tops of the feet, into the tops of the toes, even into your toenails, and then lengthen the spine. And come back to awareness of your breath. And we'll just go through some cat-cows, inhaling, coming up into spinal extension. And then exhaling, coming to spinal flexion. Inspirez, on allonge toute la ligne antérieure du torse. Et expirez, on allonge toute la ligne postérieure du torse. Let your pelvis move very freely here. So, lengthening, feeling the mobility of your spine, breathing into the spine. And go ahead and do that one more time. Okay, so we're going to come into a restorative child pose. So if you'd rather just come into a child pose without props, that's fine. If you're not using props, there's always 3 options of child pose that I like to offer. One is the traditional, legs together, arms in front. My favorite is with the legs wide. I find it allows me to relax more because it allows my abdomen to just release into the space a little easier. If you have knee issues and it's not comfortable for you to bend like that, then you can keep the hips high. So those are all valid options. But because we have props this evening, we can use them. So if you have something like a round cushion or pillows, you could use that. Or you could take a bunch of blankets and then come and lie down onto those blankets. So you might have to experiment a little bit. We'll give you time to come to where that's comfortable for you. Okay, so by now it looks like most of you have arrived there. Let yourself relax completely. Come back to awareness of your breath. And allow your tailbone to drop down as your hips drop back and down as well. Notice how the breath moves through the back of your body now, opening and expanding through the back of the hips, the pelvis, the sacrum, the lower back, into the lower back, and outwards, up the spine, into the back of the rib cage, the sides of the ribs, the shoulder blades opening like an umbrella and draping over the ribs. Arms and legs release. Let the head relax, the neck relax. Notice if you're carrying any tension in your jaw or in your face. Just let the mouth open a little bit. Le mâchoire relaxe, le front lisse. And just enjoy this for a few more moments. And then if you're using props, you can gently come up from there and push the props away. Come back to tabletop. Curl your toes coming into your feet. And on your next exhale, gently push your hips up into downward facing dog, and triangle avant. And then from here, walk your hands back towards your feet, les mains vers les pieds, flexion en avant, Uttanasana. Let the knees bend so there's no strain in the hamstrings, no pull in the back. Bend the knees a little bit more. Bring your hands to the bottoms of your thighs. Activate your abdominals and come to standing. Tadasana. And then from here, imagine somebody is replaying you as you walk in slow motion. Alors, on va marcher très, très au ralenti, avec une pleine attention au respire. So just walk as slowly as you can, being connected with your breath, rolling through the feet. A very slow, meditative walk right to the front of your mat, and I'll wait here for you. Coming to Tadasana, mountain pose. All that mountain pose really is for this evening is our standing Shavasana. So don't worry about being military alert, perfect posture. I just want you to be grounded into your feet and aware of your breath and relax. Now, some of you may have noticed the beautiful logo for the West Island Cancer Wellness Center. It's a beautiful image of a tree called the Bodhi tree. And the Bodhi tree is known to be a source of energy, of inspiration, a symbol of peace and enlightenment, and strength. It reminds us of the ultimate potential that lies within each of us. Alors, dans l'image du Centre du bien-être des gens atteints du cancer du West Island, il y a un bel arbre, leur logo. C'est un arbre de Bodhi. C'est un très vieux arbre. Ça peut vivre 3000 ans. Ils sont surtout en Inde. So it's a relative of the fig tree. Et c'est une source d'énergie, d'inspiration, un symbole de paix et d'éclaircissement, de force et un souvenir du potentiel ultime qui demeure en chacun de nous. And this is just a wonderful way for us to enjoy a very classic tree pose that spans across all yoga practices. Before we do, let's all just stand with our arms out nice and wide. As if we were able to reach and connect with each other. Imagine you're touching the fingers of the person on the screen next to you on either side. So at the center, before last year, every single class, we would go into a circle and hold hands this way before doing our tree pose as a way of helping people feel the community support of the center, feel the strength that is within us when we work together. Bring your hands to your heart and come to tree pose however you like. You could use a wall for support behind you. You can keep one foot on the floor. come to your calf or come up higher. So go ahead, choose whichever one is going to allow you to continue feeling very, very relaxed. And connect with your breath. Ooh, got slippery pants. And then go ahead and come back down and set up your other side. All right, and let's bring our feet back down. All right, we're actually going to come back. How are we doing for time? I think we're actually a little bit ahead of schedule, aren't we? Let me just check on my, yeah, we've got a little bit of extra time, which is great. So we're gonna do one more pose, a little impromptu here, Heather, sorry about that. But here's another pose that I feel is really, really important to honor all the participants from the Cancer Wellness Center. Warrior Two. So step your feet out wide, facing sideways to your mat, and take your arms out wide. And conjure up the image for yourselves of a famous masterpiece of Leonardo da Vinci's, of the Human Atlas. We are Da Vinci women, we are Da Vinci men, strong and alive and vital. Internally rotate your left leg so that your toes point towards your right foot, and then externally rotate your right leg so that your toes are going to point towards the front of your mat. Now bend your right knee. And come again to that deep, long exhale. Warrior Two, a symbol of strength, of courage, and of determination. And then let's celebrate that by bringing your left hand to the back of your left leg. Lift the palm of the right hand up and join your first finger to your thumb, flare the other fingers, and then reach up and celebrate your courage, your strength, your determination. Le guerrier glorieux. Come back to the center through Warrior Two and back to our Da Vinci pose. Let's go to the other side. Internally rotate your right leg, externally rotate your left. Turn towards your left and bend your left leg. Breathe. Strong, courageous, and determined. Exhale deeply. And then bring the back arm to the back leg. On monte la paume gauche vers le ciel, l'index vers le doigt, et on lève le bras. On regarde vers la main. Respirez et expirez profondément. Beautiful. Come back to Warrior Two. Lengthen the left leg and come back to the center. Arms down, just roll your shoulders from front to back. Go super slow. Moving your collarbones, your arm bones, your shoulder blades. And then reverse that au sens inverse. Tout le complexe scapulaire qui bouge, les clavicules, les omoplates et l'humérus qui est l'os dans le haut du bras. Heel toe your feet together as you bend your knees. And let's walk again slow. Well, you're already at the front of your mat. I think, oh no, we're all in the center, right? So let's just walk back slowly to the front of our mat. Okay, and we're gonna just do a very gentle flow to take us back to the mat. So we're not even gonna go through the full sequence. We'll finish in downward dog, float down a child pose, and then continue with some more restorative work. Here we go. Inspirez, on lève les bras. Expirez, Uttanasana, flexion en avant. Les genoux pliés, les mains sur les tibias, allongez le dos, on lève à moitié. Et expirez, on redescend les deux mains au tapis. Take a huge step back with one leg and a huge step back with the other leg coming to your plank. Arrivez au tibia, allongez les pieds. And then keep your elbows tucked in and slowly come back down to your mat. Inhale, come up to whatever back bend is comfortable for you at this moment. And then curl the toes, exhale, downward dog. And on your next exhale, let yourself float back down to child pose for 5 breaths. Okay, so this is where your strap or bathrobe, belt, or tie will come in very handy. Thank you, Steve. And if you don't have one, that's okay too. Okay, si vous n'avez pas de ceinture ou de sangle, c'est pas grave. Let's come down to our backs. Take whatever you're using and fold it in half. And then bring one leg up. And you're going to step the ball of your foot, la plante du pied, qui est entourée par la courroie. Si vous n'avez pas de courroie, tout simplement interlacez vos doigts et tenez la jambe en arrière de la cuisse. With every exhale, let your hips drop down, let your buttocks relax. Rib cage finds more connection. And just notice where the back of your head is touching the mat. Try to make it in the area right underneath your eye sockets so that your chin is not jutting up and it's not overly tucked in either. Head is neutral, coming to the natural curves of our spine. Okay, go ahead, on va changer de côté. Et à chaque respire, on se laisse fondre. Drop down into your bones. Drop down into your mat. Drop down into your breath. Drop down into your cells. All right. Okay, so from here, we're going to keep moving along a little bit into a very classic restorative pose. So bend your knees, roll to your side, and come up. Those of you who are regular participants of restorative yoga, we're going to set up for Supta Baddha Konasana. So those of you who have your blankets and pillows, there's lots of different combinations you can do here. One thing you can do is have a lightly folded blanket for your head. The other thing you can do is take your other two blankets and fold them up so that they're quite high, or about the height of a yoga block or a little higher. The classic pose, you take a bolster. So those of you who have bolsters, this is a great time to get it out. And you come and you connect your back with the bolster, and then come and lie back. You might need a little bit extra here, so you could always take one of your blankets and give yourself a little bit of extra support for your head. And then either blocks or folded blankets or cushions or pillows underneath your legs as you butterfly the legs open. Alors, les jambes sont en papillon et ils sont soutenus et supportés par quelque chose qui les soutient le plus doux possible. Alors, soit des coussins, des couvertes, les blocs de yoga fonctionnent aussi. If you don't like the feeling of your back being arched while you're in that pose, then just come to lying down right on your back here. Make sure you have something to cover your eyes. And then for warmth, because you're going to start cooling down, if you have extra layers or you want to take a blanket, just cover yourselves up and cocoon yourselves up completely. So this is one example, but I hope now when we look at this, when I look at the screen, that everyone's going to have a little bit of a different version, because we all have different sized bodies, and some of us will open further, some of us will open less, but you don't want to have your legs hanging there, because that creates muscular tension and causes you to hold the pose. I don't want you to hold the pose. I want you to drop down into the pose and surrender to the pose. Les yeux fermés. On respire sûrement par le nez. Expiration lente et profonde. The next pose we're going to come to is just a very simple and easy Shavasana. Si vous voulez rester dans la pose où est-ce que vous êtes, restez-y. If you're comfortable where you are right now, stay with Supta Baddha Konasana a little while longer. But over the next couple of minutes, start making your way to Shavasana. And what you might like to do is give a little lift to the legs. Alors, vous pouvez soit prendre un coussin, un traversin, ou vous pouvez rouler une serviette comme un rouleau de sushi. Une serviette ou une couverte comme ça. Okay, so you could roll a blanket or a towel. Bring it underneath your legs. Cover yourself up for warmth. And cover your eyes. So anytime you're ready, start to arrive in Shavasana. Shavasana is a practice that is very fundamental to yoga and a way to close every practice. Initially, it may be a moment of absorption, of integration. C'est un moment de réflexion, d'absorption, d'intégration pour donner une chance au corps de toujours se souvenir de qu'est-ce qui était fondamental pour le corps d'une pratique d'une telle journée. Okay, so whatever is important to the body and to you, to your mind, to your heart, from today's practice, anything you might have learned or absorbed or integrated, that's what it's initially for. So that your intelligent neuromuscular system stores that information, very similar to how when a child takes their first steps, the next steps are easier, and eventually they don't struggle, they don't fall, they never even think about it anymore. It just becomes part of who they are. The main purpose of Shavasana, though, is to let go and release ourselves from the day's practice. Alors, en effet, qu'est-ce qu'on peut vraiment faire en Shavasana? C'est de mettre notre pratique derrière nous. Et pour symboliser ça, je vous invite à inspirer par le nez et expirer fortement par la bouche 3 fois. Faites du bruit. So inhale through the nose. Let go of the practice as you exhale through the mouth. Make lots of noise. And now just come to your natural breath and enjoy. Allow yourself to relax completely. Gently bring your awareness back into your room by gently moving your fingers and your toes. Alors, on commence à bouger les extrémités en douceur. Les pieds, les mains, les chevilles, les poignets. Maybe you can move your arms and legs around a little bit. Move however it feels best for you right now. Gently turn the head to one side and then the other. And start to gently draw the legs in towards your body. Maybe give yourself a little hug. Peut-être vous allez tenir les jambes et vous bercer un petit peu d'un côté à l'autre. And then eventually roll to one side and linger there for just a few more moments. Luxuriate in this beautiful, peaceful, relaxing feeling. Avec le moindre d'effort possible, on va remonter et vous pouvez vous asseoir, les jambes croisées ou accroupis à genoux ou même sur une chaise. So come to a comfortable seat. It could even be on a chair. You could be seated, cross-legged as I am. Maybe give yourself a little bit of a lift with a blanket or a block. You could be kneeling if you're more comfortable that way. You could sit on a chair and just arrive for a moment. And we're going to conclude our practice today with a few rounds of Om. Please join us. Don't worry about the sound or tone or quality of your voice. Focus instead on the very deep, beautiful vibration that you'll feel throughout your whole body with this universal sound. So it'll be a nice long inhale, deep exhale, just like the humming before, but a little bit louder, maybe a little bit deeper. For the very first one, let's just coordinate our breaths for a moment. So we'll receive and return 2 breaths, then receive the Om with the arms coming up, hands to the heart, and then 2 more with the hands here. Alors les mains au cœur, on reçoit le respire et on le redonne 2 fois. Receive and give. À l'inspire, on lève les bras. We bow our heads, acknowledging each other's energy and presence. Namaste. Merci de votre énergie et de votre présence. Restez bien.